Hello. Yes, yes. You're audible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are audible. You are audible. Am I audible?
yeah, yeah. You are very much audible. Yeah,
Okay, sure. I'm just gonna share my screen. Just give me one moment.
yeah, yeah.
Please let me know when you are able to see it.
Sorry. Hello.
Please let me know if you are able to see it.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. It is visible. Yeah, it is visible now. Just full screen it.
Yes. Is it okay now?
Yeah, yeah. It's fine. It's fine. So, shall we start?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
So,
morning, everyone. My
no,
name
I
is
will.
Ankit. You will
First, I will
introduce yourself.
tell, and then you will. Okay. Yeah.
Sure,
Sachin,
please.
you please start the recording. Yeah. A very good morning to one and all present here. First of all, I request all the non-speakers to please keep their mic on mute. Let the speaker complete the session, and we will have a separate question answer round at a last. I, Mayur Verma, on behalf of Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur, welcome you all to the Kisan Mitr webinar series on agriculture technology for marketing, organized by CCS National Institute of Agriculture Marketing in partnership with the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India. CCS National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur is an autonomous organization established under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, Government of India, to cater various agriculture aspects such as training, research, consultancy, education in agriculture marketing. CCS NAM is also recognized globally as the center of excellence in Southeast Asia. Kisan Mitr as a Friends of Farmer is a initiative by the Principal Scientific Advisor in partnership with Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agriculture Marketing, Jaipur. The objective of the initiative to bring technologies to farmers and reverse migrants who have moved rural due to the impact of COVID-19. Under this initiative, more than 1,000 technology have been identified which are supported by ICR Institute, NABARD Ministry of Rural Development, ISRO and Gates Foundation. On the supply side of technology, there are innovators, entrepreneurs, researchers in academic and research institutions. Talking about the technology and the webinar participant being on the demand side, who are typically agribusiness enthusiasts, government functionaries, agribusiness companies, and other agribusiness stakeholders were taken in agriculture technology. Now, moving further, I would like to introduce our today's speaker, that is Ankita Garg, who is the founder and CEO of Precify Lusirga Private Company, Jaipur, Rajasthan. She will be presenting today's session. Ankita Garg, an MBA graduate from IIM Ahmedabad, MS Biotechnology from Pennsylvania State University, led the foundation of Pacify to help farmers navigate through climate uncertainties while maintaining productivity and income. Through interactions with the farmer community during her more than 7 years of working for agribusiness global enterprises like Bayer, Monsanto, etc., help her understand farmer challenges. Having visualized the uses of technology in developed farming economy like the US, Germany, and Brazil, while working internationally for more than 4 years, Ankita started her quest to bring these to Indian farmers in 2019. Now I would like to invite Ankita Garg to take a session on the Internet of Things sensors-driven decision support system to provide customized agriculture advisory to farmers. Ankita, over to you. You can please start now.
Yeah, thank you so much for this introduction, Mr. Verma. I really appreciate setting the stage for this discussion today. So, as I have been introduced already, my name is Ankita Garg, and I am the founder of an agriculture technology company called as Precify. At Precify, we believe that the future of agriculture across the world and especially in India is technology. And when I say technology, our focus is towards IoT technology and bringing more precision in the agriculture practice. Our registered office is in Jaipur, and we have been functioning in several areas across India, which includes Maharashtra and Haryana and many other different states as well. So, coming to the problem, what is the problem that we are dealing with? And as we all know, that low agriculture productivity is a issue which we as a nation have been facing, but it is also something which is also coming up as an issue for worldwide. And I will show you some figures why. The world population, and India is a big contributor towards that, has been increasing. And by 2050, it is believed that as a world, we will be a population of about 9.7 billion people. Having said that, the amount of land which is available for agriculture will not increase. There is, as it is, 37% of the total land mass across Earth which is currently used for food production. So, what we will have to increase is our productivity. The food demand itself will grow by 60%, and the water supply will go down by about 40% given the number of people which will be there. So, what is the reason for a low agriculture productivity, especially when it comes to India? So, one of the reasons which comes up is that the number of farmers in India, almost 50% of the population of India is in some way or the other dependent on agriculture, and there are about 140 million farmers in India. As compared to the number of farmers available and the people engaged in farming, the number of agriculture extension officers or the extension activities available is lesser. And because of this, there is a lot of information asymmetry which gets created. There is a lack of right information at the right time available to be applied to the agriculture land. The whole problem is further aggravated by climate change. It is not just a buzzword today, it's a real problem. And just to show you some figures, um, this is a report from the World Bank, and it says that climate change will affect crop yields worldwide. And if we look at India here, uh, India will have almost a 50% negative impact if the conditions persist the way they are currently with climate change. So, essentially, what does climate change do? Because of climate change, there is an increased erraticism in the different parameters of weather which affect a crop's growth. Heat, for example, the temperature has increased more than 4 degrees Celsius in the last couple of years, and it will increase further. The water cycles will be very different and they will be very much less predictable. And we are already seeing that at all as well. Uh, there are untimely rains, there are droughts in certain places. So there was a certain level of calendar applications that the farmers used to follow, and that will not be possible anymore. The groundwater levels are going down, the sea levels are rising. There is a very high change in the intensity and the frequency of precipitation. So these are some of the changes which the farmers are already seeing in their day-to-day lives. And as I mentioned earlier, the current practice of using calendar based applications sometimes does not help them anymore. There are untimely pests which come up, untimely diseases, diseases that are coming up or traveling from other countries and affecting the crops in India and elsewhere. And when there is such a great havoc of diseases, farmers have to resort to a lot of use of pesticides and indiscriminate use of pesticides sometimes if they don't know the cause, they are not able to control it in the right time. And essentially, what it leads to is a degrading environment. It is our soil, our uh, air, our water bodies, everything gets affected. Um, the situation is dire, such that about for the past couple of years, almost 2 decades, every year, almost 20,000 people die year on year in all developing countries combined, India also to some extent being a part of it. Of course, Africa, South Asian countries are a part of it. In India, our soil organic carbon is going down. The ideal level is somewhere around 1.5%, and in some areas, it's seen that it's going down up until 0.3%. Um, India, otherwise, is a very endowed country when it comes to soil organic carbon or when it comes to the fertility. And having this situation can put us in a difficult spot. I would also like to bring your attention to the water use efficiency. So the water use efficiency currently stands at 30%. If we look at the groundwater level for the past couple of years, in the past 20 years, if you look at some of these areas that are marked in red, there are areas where the groundwater level has depleted by almost 100%, and somewhere even more than that, which definitely does point towards the water use efficiency. And if we look at some of the World Bank reports, if these kind of conditions continue to happen, then we will be left with very limited amount of surface and groundwater level to use. And the prime sector that use water, as you see, 91% of it actually goes towards irrigation. So this is one of the prime users of surface water as well as groundwater. So the impetus is on the agriculture practices, it's on us, how we can improve the water use efficiency and make it more sustainable. So if we look at the key challenges, these are of low agriculture productivity, degrading environment, some human health issues which come up because of this. And what we need to then work upon is how do we prevent this environmental sustainability while at the same time maintaining our current and future productivity and feed the world population, feed the India population. So we've conducted a farmer feedback survey. This survey was done mostly with the horticulture farmers and farmer producer organizations because these are the more progressive farmers. And as we will be talking about more advanced practices, so these are mostly the early adopters. So what we see is that their major areas of concerns as they look at it is primarily pest and disease management, the quality of produce, irrigation management, labor cost, yield. Some of them are also concerned about the soil quality. They want to leave a better soil for their future generations. They are worried about the weather variability because of which the unpredictability has come up. And if we look at especially because pest and disease management is a prime area of concern, we dig deeper into it and we tried to understand what are the kind of losses that the farmers are facing. And these are some crops in which we got some data. And what we understood is that when it comes to losses, grape is definitely an exception. Here, the farmers do very intensive cultivation, but otherwise, in other crops as well, the losses are anywhere from 40,000 to 80,000 rupees per acre per season. And the farmers are also putting in a good amount of investment towards pest and disease management. They are putting in a good amount of investment on buying pesticides. There are certain pests, certain diseases for which farmers would make sprays every 3 to 4 days. So we also try to understand from them that when they do a certain practice, whether it is in terms of pest or disease management, whether it is in terms of irrigation management, how do they decide? And as we see, most of the farmers are still asking their fellow farmers, they use their own judgment. The use of agri advisory applications is happening, but it is still very limited. And we try to dig deep into why the use of agri advisory applications currently is low. What came up is that sometimes when it comes to using agriculture advisory applications, the advice providers is sometimes very generic. Sometimes they get the alert late, or the alert is not very relevant to their particular field. Sometimes the recommendations which are made of the products are not available in their respective markets, and there is a lack of follow-up. So they would have already done a particular application when the advice would come that you should do this application. As we try to understand if they would be willing to purchase a service which could make some betterment in these existing applications, we got to know that there is definitely a good amount of interest in either renting or purchasing certain services which are especially helpful to them in nutrient management, pest and disease management, and water management, and even in some cases for residue management for farmers who are doing export. So based on this, this is our solution. Our solution is to install a sensor unit on the farmer field. These sensor units collect data on different parameters. They collect data on temperature, humidity, sunlight, rainfall, wind direction, wind speed, soil moisture, soil temperature, electrical conductivity. And based on the farm specific data which is collected, we then give personalized advisory to the farmer, which is based on their own microenvironment, their soil properties, and their phenological crop stages. The benefit in this case, as compared to the other generic mobile applications, is that it is timely. It is based on the real-time weather fluctuations which the farmer is facing. So it's accurate. And we are helping them with end-to-end service. We are helping them with water management because we are able to gauge what is the soil moisture level. What is the soil moisture level required for the crop, for the particular soil type, for the particular crop stage, and accordingly a recommendation is made to the farmer. In terms of pest and disease management, we study the life cycle of the specific pest based on the conditions, the weather conditions which are conducive for the specific stage of the disease and of the crop. we then look at the parameters that are collected and accordingly send out alerts to the farmer, uh, telling them what is the level of risk. And then in that scenario, they don't have to make applications every 3 days. Rather, they make an application based on the level of risk which these farmers are facing. And thus, they are able to reduce the number of sprays which they are making. They are able to save their cost, and at the same time they are able to get a good quality of produce while preventing the loss to the environment. So this is our motto. Our motto is to help farmers monitor their farms microclimate data using these IoT sensors, and we provide them forecasting of pests and diseases, and we give advisory to them for judicious farm management. And the components that we have includes an IoT system, uh, such as the one which you see here, crop models. Now, these crop models or the forecasting models are based on the local climate. These are based on the local diseases that are faced by the farmer. And the advisory is then given to them based on their own specific objective. The advisory is provided via SMS, IVR systems, and mobile application. So this is how the technology looks like. This is a macro sensor unit. This is a unit which is able to measure rain, wind direction, wind speed, solar radiation, and leaf wetness. Now, these are macro parameters. These parameters don't change within a range of 5 to 10 kilometers. So even having one unit will suffice for all the farmers who are located in maybe a 5 to 10 kilometer radius. And then there is a micro sensor unit. Now, these are units which measure the micro parameters, things that change very frequently, things that change within a field itself as well. So there is a need to then put these micro sensor units which are able to measure soil moisture, soil temperature, electrical conductivity, atmospheric temperature, and relative humidity. We believe that these parameters, when measured from farm to farm, are able to really understand what is happening at the specific farm, such as the advisory can then be provided very precisely and very accurately. All this data gets collected in our cloud server. In the cloud server, then it is analyzed using different kind of analysis models, forecasting models, and we also have decision support systems. These decision support systems houses all the different rules based on which we determine what is best for the farmer in terms of alerts and in terms of advisory. And then we provide it with the help of WhatsApp messages and a mobile application. The kind of marketing and promotional strategy that we follow also follows a very indigenous route. We believe that it is important to create village clusters that are independent in themselves. People within the villages need to be trained and they need to be equipped with the right kind of resources so that one, it would generate employment for the local people, but at the same time it would also help with faster issue resolution. So we train people at the local level to make them into our sales and promotional activists. We also run rural call centers for faster query resolution, and we work with local distributors and retailers to fulfill the demands. Our USP is that we follow a farmer-centered approach. We actually have created our solutions by working with farmers, deeply understanding what their need is, what is the real time weather data which is coming from their farm. Um, and then we also capture their microenvironment. Plus, we continuously collect information over a period of time. We've been collecting, and we do plan to collect more and more information on how our algorithms are performing, how our models of forecasting are performing. We continue to feed data into these models to evolve them, to make them more robust so that they can make predictions with a higher accuracy. Here you can look at a farmer, uh, a grape farmer on whose field we have installed the system. We gave advisory to this particular farmer. This particular plot was divided into two areas. One area was a regular plot. This was a plot where the farmer was following his own practice. Whereas, on the other hand, there was a second plot where the advisory was provided based on the data which was coming from our sensor units, and then it was analyzed by our agronomists. The agronomists were continuously providing feedback to the farmers in terms of when there is a risk for diseases like downy mildew and powdery mildew. Now, depending on the level of risk, there were different chemicals which were recommended to the farmer. uh, there were definitely a marked increase in the size of the grape. As you can see in these pictures as well, there were bigger grape sizes. The quality of grapes, as you can see in this case, is better. Uh, the infestation because of diseases like downy mildew and powdery mildew are not present in the advisory plot as compared to the regular plot. Um, in our case, actually, the farmer was able to come out positive that year because he had taken this advisory plot, because several other of his plots were lost due to bad environmental conditions. So he came out positive overall as well. But looking at this particular field, the farmer was able to reduce his input cost by about 20%, and there was an increase in revenue by about 10% for this particular field. In terms of the impact that we are looking to create, so there are close to about 140 million farmers in India. And our motto is that in the next 5 to 6 year period of time, even if we are able to reach a very small share of these farmers, even zero point 0.2 million farmers, if we are able to reach and if we are able to create jobs for people in especially rural areas, for uh, either the ones who will be working as our engineers or the ones who will be working as salespeople, uh, that we believe that we would have created a difference. We are also looking at reducing the pollution which is caused because of excessive use of pesticides. In our plot itself, we've seen that there has been a marked decrease in the level of pesticide usage, and we will continue to aim for that. So that's about my presentation, and I hope that it was informative as well as it was able to bring out some clarity in terms of what it is that we are trying to do and how we are looking at making a difference. If there are any questions, I will be very happy to take them.
Thank you, Sanketa. Thank you, Sanketa, for a valuable talk and wonderful presentation. Now, I would request all the participants to unmute and raise their questions one by one. or you can also write the question in the chat box also.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes, sure, sure.
Yes, sir. Please tell me.
I'm from Cotton Research. I am from Cotton Research Institute at Nagpur. So from my presentation and from the data that you have shown, I think it's a very nice presentation, nice work that you're doing. And all the models and machine learning that you are employing, I think they are robust. And what is your primary experience? First, I want to know which are the crops, horticultural crops. I think grape I see, maybe pomegranate I see. These are high value crops. Lot of, when you talk about 20% reduction and say 30 to 60,000 rupees reduction. You are not able to hear me? I'm putting my question in the chat then.
I was losing your voice, but I think
Is
I
it better now?
understand the question. I
Your voice is
believe that
breaking.
you've seen some
Ankita, your voice is breaking. Yeah.
give me
Hello, Ankita, your voice is breaking. It's not audible.
okay, just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, we are able to hear you.
Yes. Yes, you are fine. Yeah, you are very much audible now.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Um, uh, but we should get
Again, your
because
voice is breaking again.
the pay
You are not audible, Ankita. Still, you can use earphone if you want. You can use your earphone.
Some questions were asked in chat. You can refer to them to madam.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. One question in chat box. Do you have filed experience successful business cases in field crops other than horticulture crops?
Field experience.
Hello, Ankita. Hello.
am I audible now?
Yeah. Yeah. Please. Yes. Now fine.
Okay. So, okay. So the first question about cotton. So our initial target is the horticulture crops. Having said that, we do in the units having the micro units at much lesser frequency and giving advisory to the farmers using this, because our understanding is that cotton farmers may not be able to initially pay for this, but we can definitely provide the advisory to the cotton farmers. We'd be open to that, but as of now, we've not worked with cotton. So does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ankita. One more question in chat box. What is the accuracy of model prediction in
Yeah.
horticulture crops you are using to give advisory?
Okay. Okay. Oh. Process of collecting more and more data, and we are also collaborating with Indian Agriculture Research Institute Division of Physics, where we are further improving the accuracy of our forecasting models. Currently, we have a tie-up with them for primarily two crops. One is grape and the other one is potato. But we'll be very open to also collaborating with other research institutes for further developing better models for other crops as well.
Yeah, thank you. One more question. What will be the cost of service for the farmers?
Yeah, yeah. So essentially, this is a tiered service. There are different components to it. So one is the sale of the device. So there is a bigger device. That device is 50,000 rupees. And then there are smaller devices which are installed per field. And these per field device buying cost is 15,000 rupees. And we advise that one device is put per acre. If the farmer is interested in renting the device, then it is 1,000 rupees per month. And then there is advisory. So advisory is something which is free for the first year for the people who have either rented or purchased the system. And from the second year onwards, per month cost of the advisory is ranging between 100 rupees to 500 rupees per acre, depending on the crop. So for horticulture crops, it's more, and for row crops, it is less. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any more questions from participant? You may ask.
What other questions are there?
Yeah, one more question is there in chat box. How you are managing crop nutrient supply?
I'm sorry, I'm losing the voice again. Maybe it's some
How
problem at
you
my
are
end.
managing?
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, you are very much audible. Yeah. How you are managing crop nutrient supply? You can see in the chat box also.
Yeah, I'm trying to just look at the chat box where I can find it.
at the bottom of the screen, right hand side.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to go by question. Okay. So I'm just going to go question by question because I'm not able to hear properly. So in your success story, you mentioned about reduction of powdery mildew in grapes by IoT interventions. What kind of methods are being used for detecting pests and diseases by your experts? So we essentially work with weather-based sensors. And then on top of that, we use models for the forecasting of diseases. So in this case, for powdery mildew, we have used data coming from our sensors constituting temperature, humidity, leaf wetness, rainfall, and sunlight. So using all this data, we have fed it into our models, and by getting the alerts from these models, we have sent an advisory to the farmer stating that you have either a low, medium, or high risk. And depending on the level of risk, we have accordingly given the advice to the farmer, also taking into consideration the stage and residue management aspects about the possible chemicals which they can adopt. Answers the question.
Yeah,
The
thank
cost of the survey
you very much.
answered. How are you managing crop nutrients supply? At this moment, we are not supplying the crop nutrients, and we are only looking at the EC value. Plus, we are having the farmer take an initial test of the soil nutrient content, and based on that, we are giving the advisory right now. Having said that, in future, we will also provide pH sensors. There are some issues when it comes to pH sensors. The life of these sensors is a little low. But in future, we will also look at providing the advisory. As of now, we are not supplying any nutrients. We are primarily giving advice.
Thank you, Ankita. Once again,
Yeah.
I would like to thank.
Then there is
Any more questions? Yeah, any more questions from participants? Okay. Ankita, your presentation provided us with deep insights. Many thanks for sharing your valuable experience in agriculture technology. Participants will definitely got benefited from your talk. At last, I would like to thank everyone for sparing their valuable time with us. Now we are going to wind up the session. Our next webinar will be on Thursday on 26th of November 2020. Till then, thank you and have a nice day. Thank you all and thank you the speaker.
Thank you so much.